Buenos dias, clase. Today's lesson for Spanish 1010 at Virginia College has to do with the future tense, talking about what will happen in the future or what one is going to do in the future. In the lessons and in your textbook, you'll find two different ways to use the future tense. I'll teach you both of them today, and the more complicated one, you'll have quizzes and activities to do. For the future tense, it's very simple. All you need to do is add the appropriate ending to the end of a verb. For yo, you put the ending e. For tú, you put as. For él, ella, and usted, you put a. Nosotros, hemos. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes, han. These are similar to the subject or to the endings that we've learned for AR, ER, and IR verbs. The difference is that in the future tense, all the verbs use the same endings. And instead of conjugating the verb, you add it to the end of the infinitive. For example, I will eat. The verb eat is comer. So if I wanted to say I will eat, I would say yo comer, and the ending for yo is e. You add it to the end of the verb for the future tense. Yo comeré. I will eat. We will study. The verb estudiar means to study. In this case, you don't conjugate the verb, you leave it in the AR form, and you add the nosotros ending, which in this case is hemos. Nosotros estudiaremos. We will study. This is the future tense. Another way to use the future tense, and quite frankly, the more common way to use the future tense, is to use the verb ir. We've used the verb ir in previous lessons, but let's go over the conjugations of it. Ir means to go, such as I go to the store, or we go to class. The conjugations are yo, voy, tú vas, él, ella, usted va, nosotros o nosotras vamos, vosotros o vosotros o vosotras vais, ellos, ellas, and ustedes van. I go, you go, he, she, or you goes, we go, you all go, they or you all go. Those are the conjugations of ir. In order to use ir to talk about the future, it's like saying, I am going to do something. I am going to study. We are going to go shopping. They are going to see a movie. It's the same concept as it is in English, and this is how you form it. You take the verb ir, and you conjugate it. You add the word a, and you leave the second word in the infinitive form. Remember that the infinitive form just means this way: to eat, to run, to speak. If I wanted to say I am going to eat, I would first conjugate ir, which in the I form is voy. So yo, voy. Then I have to add a, and the infinitive to eat is comer. Here we said yo comeré, I will eat. Here we're saying yo voy a comer, I'm going to eat. You must have the a between the verb ir and your other infinitive, or the sentence won't make sense. There's no translation for a in this format, but it has to be there to form this correctly. We will study is nosotros estudiaremos. They are going to study. First you take ir in the they form, which is van. Ellos van. You must have a, and then you just leave study in the infinitive form. Ellos van a estudiar. For this week's lesson and the activities, you'll have to fill in some of the blanks. You'll either have to conjugate the verb ir, add the word a, or put the correct infinitive.